ring, Magnum TA. Going up against Pablo Crenshaw. Magnum TA with a big right arm. Also, fans, we'll talk to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, a World TV champion, in this program very soon. Magnum now. Whips him out of the rope. Belly to belly. Belly to belly. Puts anybody down and out. The winner of the match, America's heartthrob, Magnum TA, looking for gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. But the question is now, is gorgeous Jimmy Garvin really looking for him? Once again, fans, an instant replay. The belly-to-belly suplex. The winner of the match, Magnum TA.
Everybody in television land noticing Dusty Rhodes wearing his risky business glasses, because it now is risky business. You know, Tony Schiavone, way before it was fashionable throughout this country to be an outlaw, me and Hart Richard Murdoch, Captain Redneck, were the baddest outlaws that roamed the prairie. Nobody from Oklahoma, nobody shaving their head, wearing earrings, did anything that their McAdream didn't do first. You understand what I'm saying? Risky business glasses made famous by me. Even a great football star now started wearing risky business glasses, helping his ability just a little bit. Nature Boy Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Ian Anderson, J.J. Dillon, and yes, the Rock himself, Ole Anderson, took it on himself to try to take Dusty Rhodes out of wrestling. 1986, The Rock says, is the end of the Dusty Rhodes era. Well, Dusty Rhodes and his risky business boys are here alive and well and doing it to it. So now then, men, I got the world's television title. I took the world's heavyweight title from Nature Boy Ric Flair. And this little bully from Austin, Texas, this little plumber's son, underneath these risky business glasses, is now ready to tune up for the big one, Jack. And the big one is all four of you, one time, one ring with Dusty Rhodes and the risky business boys. Then you're going to feel some pain, blues, and agony. And Tony Schiavone, I'm going to lay out some people before this year is out. And Jim Crockett Promotion pays me well for doing it. Nature Boy, don't you wish you got that far I did? Wish you had anyway.
The leader of the
real, true tag team champions of the world, Loverboy Dennis and Beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express.
So many times, claiming the Midnight Express are the, as he says, real world tag team champions. This event going up against Keith Patterson and Rocky Cornetto on Worldwide Wrestling. Although you know it's not fact, they are world champion caliber. But now you can hear what the fans think of his claims. The chant of rock and roll. He doesn't like it at all, does he? Beautiful Bobby, Loverboy Dennis, no doubt about it. Championship caliber. One of the top teams in the world today. Both men lock up now, right back to the corner. Earl Hebner, referee, and a big right hand down the head of Cornetto. Cornetto retaliates. Big right hands of his own. This is what you gotta do. Reversal, though, by Beautiful Bobby. Waited too long for that. Cornetto, corner to corner. Side body block. He got a 2 count out of that. And now a tag is made to Keith Patterson. And the whip. Patterson. A drop kick right to the chest. And that time, Beautiful Bobby moved away. Not only great athletes, but smart. Ring savvy. Snapmare takes the man down. And now we're going to take a look at Loverboy Dennis, the man they call the strength man, the power man of the group. And there's some evidence right there. A standing clothesline. Working on the neck. Has him up with a one arm now. Beautiful Bobby. Is high up. Here comes the rocket launcher. Down on Keith Patterson. There's your counts. Once again, Jim Cornette's Midnight Express win on Worldwide Wrestling. Let's take a look once again. As Loverboy Dennis has him up with one arm to slam the man down. And then we're going to see that rocket launcher they talk so much about. Beautiful Bobby, there's no doubt about it. No one flies as high in professional wrestling as Beautiful Bobby. He's made claim to it. Look how Loverboy Dennis just tosses him off. He springs off of that top turnbuckle and down. Jim Cornette's Midnight Express. No doubt about it. One of the top teams in the world, and they're on fire in '86.
We'll be right back, fans, after these commercial messages about the worldwide wrestling events coming to your area.
Fans, wait no longer, because the best in wrestling, the NWA, comes to the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh on Friday, October 24th with an 8 o'clock starter. Brad Armstrong takes on gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with Precious. Wahoo McDaniel against Tully Blanchard. Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch and Ron Garvin will take on the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette. Nikita Koloff defends the U.S. heavyweight title against Magnum TA. The Rock and Roll Express defend the World Tag Team title against Ole and Arn Anderson. And for the heavyweight championship of the world, World Heavyweight Champion Nature Boy Ric Flair defends against the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. At the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh on Friday, October 24th, 8 o'clock, here's the U.S. Heavyweight Champion Nikita Koloff defending in Pittsburgh against Magnum TA.
Well, you know, it's been a long time since I've been in this stinking town. And when I say stinking town, all you people know what I'm talking about. Stinking Pittsburgh. Well, now I got the McATA. And he's going for USA title. Well, this is good, McATA. You give, how you like to say, you give to me you best shot. Because I'm going to stand back up and I'm going to walk out you as a champion.
Chief Wahoo McDaniel takes on Tully Blanchard with James J. Dillon.
Well, I think the fans in Pittsburgh from the past have shown that they like a good fight. And any time that Tully Blanchard and Wahoo McDaniels, who have to give credit, is the greatest Indian athlete of all times as far as I'm concerned, anytime these two men climb into the ring with all that's happened in the past, you're guaranteed of seeing one thing: it's a great fight. And another thing, Tully, of course, one of the four horsemen, the world heavyweight champion Ric Flair coming to town. This has got to be the biggest night ever for wrestling in Pittsburgh, especially with the NWA coming to the Civic Arena. And, of course, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, another great match.
Well, JJ, let's don't forget, Wahoo McDaniels, you're the man that took the National Heavyweight Championship away from me in Los Angeles, California, and that sticks deep in my side. It sticks deep into my bank book and James J's bank book, and that's when it really starts hurting. So, Wahoo McDaniels, you got dues to pay. Pittsburgh is just as good as any city in the country. The first time in the Civic Arena, you're going to see one heck of a fight. And Wahoo McDaniels, we're going to see how the greatest Indian athlete of all time really gets it going.
Wrestling, you know, there's always glitter, always a lot of glamour, and usually a lot of smiles when Gorgeous Jimmy and Precious come into the ring, but it's evident there's not as much here today. There's the bell for the event, as Gorgeous Jimmy have his hands full with Gary Royal in this match. Magnum TA calling out Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin again after Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin obviously had called him out, and then that attack. Gorgeous Jimmy for the second time would not come out. First came Precious. And as you saw last week on the program, it's going to be a time Precious will regret for a long time. We're going to take a look at what happened a little bit later on in the program. He's always, at least it always seems, he's in a good mood, but it seems to be a little bit different, especially from the point of that lady. Very happy, though, by the way this match is going, as once again, the ability of Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is par none.
He ain't going nowhere!
Calling out to the fans now, saying the man's not going to go anywhere. Garvin right to the turnbuckle, using the head right up against the turnbuckle. Now the chant of Magnum for the fans, and it's really getting Gorgeous Jimmy upset. Pushing now right on the throat of Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Garvin continues to push on to Gary Royal and comes back with a knee. Whips him in. High backdrop that time. And now has him hooked. That arm hooked around the neck. And a quick brain buster from Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. There is your 3 count, and there's your winner. As he likes for us to call him, the one and only Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And his valet, a very subdued, I guess is a proper word here, Precious, on Worldwide Wrestling. Once again, fans, boy, say what you want about him, but I know he's done a lot of talking, and obviously right now didn't want to back up much of it with Magnum, but he is a fine wrestler. As we take a look at the brainbuster and the winner of the match, the one and only Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with Precious. And I'm here at ringside, none other than the Kansas Jayhawks, Dirty Dutch Mantell, the Hangman Bobby Jaggers.
You know, when we first came here, the Midnight Express was World Tag Team Champions. Now, since we first came here, they are no longer the World Tag Team Champions because the Rock and Roll defeated them for those titles. Now, they're running around here claiming that they're the #1 team. Well, we don't agree with that. The Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Dirty Dutch Mantell, we don't agree 1 inch with that, baby, because we think we're the #1 contenders for the world's heavyweight titles right now, and it remains to be seen.
They are.
Hey, wait a minute.
Now, the Midnight Express walk right by us. They're in the ring right now, Dutch and Bobby. You can see them out there.
That looks like a challenge to me, baby.
Want a piece of us, they can have it.
Boy, it didn't take these guys long to go to the ring. They didn't even think twice. Cornette, and they're whipping the back of Dutch Mantell. They have taken the bullwhip, and they've taken it from Mantell. Those Jaggers. And there go Cornette and the Express as Dutch Mantell viciously whipped with that bull rope. And right now, we're taking a look at the man looking over his man, but let's take a look at what happened. It was a tennis racket. There was no doubt about it. The Jayhawks came in. They cleared house. But with that tennis racket, the advantage was all Midnight Express. And when they had Mantell down, they went over and picked up Shoe Baby and whipped him with it. You can better believe those are marks on the back of Dutch Mantell that he will never forget. Fans, more action right after this timeout. Redneck Dick Murdoch, one of the top contenders for Ric Flair's world heavyweight title, hot after the champion, who is #1, of course, in the sport. But as we find out always in the sports world, when you're #1, you can always be beaten.
Well, you know, Tony, thank you very much. You know, that's the name of any profession, any sport there is. If you're #1 in rodeo, you always have to get dumped. If you're #1 in football, just like these great University of Oklahoma Sooners found out, you can get knocked off your pedestal. It's a big thing that does is knock the Chicago Bears off. And a big thing in professional wrestling is to knock Ric Flair off the World Heavyweight Championship belt. Everyone knows, I don't have to sit up here and tell them how great Ric Flair is. Ric Flair is a very, very great wrestler, a very tough hombre. He has to be to hold the NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt as many times as he had. Dusty Rhodes is a great, great professional wrestler. Magnum TA, the Russians. J.J. Dillon's got a stable of great people. And as you just got to see seeing, there's no telling in professional wrestling who's going to jump on who or what the outcome is going to be. Professional wrestling, I've grown up in it. My dad was a wrestler, my uncle's a wrestler. I've lived it. I love it. The toughest sport in the world today. But you know, Ric Flair gets up here and he tells me I'm nothing but a redneck. I got a stupid Marine Corps haircut. Well, it is a little bit long right now. And I wear ball caps, Levi's, and boots. Well, I do. And I ride some of the finest quarter horses money can buy, Ric Flair, on my own place. But you know, well, the other day I was out there, Tony, and I was walking around a barn, and I heard a little bit of a rattle. And every time you look down, you know what that is? There's a varmint, a snake, a slithering little thing, creature. I can't stand them. I looked around, I didn't have my hog leg with me or my 12 gauge, Tony. So I took it out, baby. I took out my old chew in the back that I was always worried about. Rick's always worried about it. So I took it out, and I got me a big old wad going on. The snake's coiled up, ready to coil. He's ready to strike. Tony, I took it, got me a good one up. You can hear the boys do it. I said, tweet. And I got him in the eye, Tony, and he crawled off. Rick, that could happen to you, buddy.
Steve Martin here as Ivan and Nikita take on the Mulkeys. Something has really upset Ivan Koloff, but he always seems to be mad at somebody or something, although the night that Nikita Koloff won that, he was a happy man. The U.S. champion Nikita Koloff against Randy and Bill Mulkey. And you talk about complete destruction. You're talking about the Koloff family. It's been that way for so many years. When Ivan was here by himself, and then when he brought Nikita around. Good attempt that time by Bill Mulkey. And a good move out of the way, but we talked about ringside. I think that's maybe Randy Mulkey in there. Yeah, that is Randy. Big right boot from the Russian Bear. Obviously, the bear is a symbol for the Soviet Union, but it also symbolizes the way these two men wrestle. Nikita Koloff, Mr. Destruction. I don't know if ever in the history of the sport has one man walked into this profession with an amateur background and been so successful so quickly as Nikita Koloff. And we got to remember, as he just moves one of the Mulkeys away, he is still in the early, what they call the formation or formative years of his career. As Ivan would say, just a baby. Elbow, back of the neck. Bill Mulkey goes right to the Koloff turnbuckle. Double team now. The chant of USA starts up here. Everywhere Nikita Koloff goes, he's got to realize, though, he is the enemy. Pointing now and screaming USA right here. I guess talking about another U.S. athlete is down on the mat. Okay, Ivan now gets a tag. He's up on the momentum. And that big sledgehammer type move on the back. There's another elbow from the Russian Bear. Now he's up again. And this time the knee down across the chest. A neck breaker. Really beating up Bill Mulkey. Koloff continues. Notice how they'll knock him down. So he's dazed and then point at him as an example. Grabs him by the face and throws him down to the canvas once again. And now out he goes onto the floor, and I think Ivan's going to go right after him. Nope. The referee held him up. Now Nikita. Right across that restraining fence that encircles the ring. Monkey's going to try to crawl back across and try to get back in to continue the match. Boy, that's a brave man. Kola continues to punish Bill Mulkey. Whip to the opposite rope. He missed, but he didn't miss that time. There's the Russian sickle from the master, Ivan Koloff. And Ivan and Nikita, as Nikita continues the assault on Randy Mulkey. Ivan and Nikita win once again, and now they're throwing both men out, and Mulkey goes right over into the crowd. There is no denying their ability, or no denying right now that Nikita is the U.S. champ. This is just contempt. And being downright mean, he missed right there, did Ivan with an elbow, but did not miss right there. The winner of the match, the Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff. I mentioned earlier that gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious went to the ring. It didn't seem as jovial as usual, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, I understand Mr. Garvin's all upset with me. Well, that's good, because I'm real upset with him, too. And I think we got a piece of film that'll clarify all these feelings a whole lot better so all the people out there can understand exactly what's going on. Let's roll that film right now so people at home can see what we're talking about.
Champion, your boy Ric Flair. Earlier we talked to a man who's hot on his trail, Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch.
Well, let me say one thing on behalf of Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch, in behalf of Dusty Rhodes, in behalf of Magnum TA, in behalf of Ronnie Garvin, in behalf of all the great wrestlers here, Wahoo McDaniels, the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors, all the great challengers that make up the National Wrestling Alliance, not to mention the fact, Dick Murdoch, that this little tie around this little neck probably costs more than all the clothes you got hidden in your closet. You are not even a cowboy boot wearing redneck. You are a Reebok wearing, jean wearing, t-shirt wearing, funny looking haircut, half nothing happening redneck. And as I said before, if I ever see you head up in that cowboy hat of yours or that funky baseball cap, I'm going to slap it off your head. I'm going to pull that pouch of tobacco out of your back pocket and shove it down your throat. And the same goes for the Four Horsemen. In other words, don't show up looking like a redneck in front of any of us, because we are the cream of professional wrestling. We are the Anderson brothers. We are Tully Blanchard. Woo, we are Ric Flair. We are James J. Dillon and Dusty Rhodes. I heard you make mention of the doll. Let me tell you about the doll. She's like 2,864 other women in this world. She had to ride Space Mountain. She had, to feel the thrill of being next to the Nature Boy. Now I am at the pinnacle, at the peak of my career, so I have sent her on her way, because I love to give the girl the world. Woo! I love to give the girls a thrill. You understand? I'm Ric Flair. I am one of the Four Horsemen. We are the predominant wrestlers in this great sport. And with only Arn, Rick, Tully, and JJ are together, there are 3 words always said. 4 words. What's causing? Woo! All of this. Woo!
There he is, fans. The World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair. Captain Redneck is in the ring. October 24th with a bell time of 8 o'clock. As Brad Armstrong takes on gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with Precious. Chief Wahoo McDaniel against Tully Blanchard with James J. Dillon. Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch and Ron Garvin against the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette. Nikita Koloff defends the U.S. heavyweight title against Magnum TA. For the World Tag Team title, the Rock and Roll Express take on Ole and Arn Anderson. And for the NWA World Heavyweight title, the heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy Ric Flair defends against the American Dream Dusty Weight champion in Pittsburgh. He and Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch take on the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette in Pittsburgh.
Well, you know, a lot of bragging going on, especially on television. You know, the Midnight Express, Jimmy Cornette, telling people all what they're going to do. Oh, they're a tough team. I'll give them credit for that, you know. They're the ex-World Tag Team Champion. I mean, it speaks for itself. They got a record a mile long, you know, but don't forget, Midnight Express, you're not the only one in professional wrestling. There's a lot of tough competitors going around, and you're looking at one of them right here, Ronnie Garvin. And I've got Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch as my partner. And that man has a record 20 miles long. And you talk about quite a record. Well, I'm going to tell you something. We don't back down from nobody. And in Pittsburgh, you're going to be in for a heck of a fight right here.
Friday, October 24th is Nikita Koloff defends the U.S. heavyweight title against former champion Magnum TA.
Well, some 6-7 months ago, a war began between myself and the Koloff family. I say the Koloff family because not only did I have to deal with Nikita Koloff, but I had to deal with Ivan Koloff, his uncle, and I had to deal with Crusher Khrushchev, his comrade at arms, as you would say. And they waged this war against me and the whole United States and came out victorious with the United States heavyweight title on their behalf. Well, how they came to attain it is all historical now. It's on films for anybody to see. But he walks around here now proud with his head held high, talking about Russian superiority. Well, in Pittsburgh, you and I are going to collide once more. And I told you that I would continue this war, continue waging all these brutal battles until I got back what was rightfully mine, and that is the United States heavyweight title. In Pittsburgh, that's what I'm coming to reclaim, the U.S. heavyweight title.
And we're back with a Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson, obviously hot on the trail, the Rock and Roll Express for the World Tag Team title. But we've also heard from Dusty Rhodes, who says the Risky Business Boys are going to take care of the Four Horsemen.
I'll tell you exactly what Dusty Rhodes said. He said he's going to take care of the Four Horsemen. Well, all righty. Okie dokie. Dusty Rhodes, you have finally bit it off. You see, my friend, big as you are, tough as you may be, with all the guts and all the glory, you're still one man. The Four Horsemen are four individuals that have been molded into one unit. And my friend, as I can tell you, the way to defeat any army or any team is divide and conquer. It's not America's team. It's now Dusty Rhodes on a single vendetta with the Risky Boys kind of in the wings. Well, Dusty Rhodes, The Rock, said it once before. He's saying it again. You're through. You're out of here because, my friend, you've got in our face, you've got in my world television title, and, my friend, the end result is going to be you're out of here, period. Tell him, Rock.
I guess we're supposed to start getting real worried. I tell you what, if you take a look at me, you take a look at Arn, you take a look at Flair, or look at Tully Blanchard, you're going to see some guys that got broken hands, broken arms, elbows, scars all over them. Now, what do you think that means? You think that means we've taken it easy someplace at the Lazy Rest Motel? No, that means we've been sticking our nose in everybody's business, and we're sticking our nose right in your business, Rhodes. And I guarantee you, before we're done, there ain't gonna be no Dusty Rhodes. 86 is the year you're through.
Wahoo McDaniel's in the ring. The Chief, Wahoo McDaniel, going up against Tony Zane in this event. Ole Anderson and Arn Anderson, the Four Horsemen, their success well documented, well known throughout the world. They certainly mean what they say, and have for so many years been able to do what they mean. Wahoo McDaniel's another man cut from that mold. Rough, rugged, tough. He'll wrestle you if you want to keep it that way, but look right there. Good hip toss to get out of that, and then when Zane bucked up, Wahoo set him right back down with the threat of that right-hand chop. Good takeover by McDaniel, right to a headlock. A man who has held so many major titles, is such a great competitor. and has many times such a short fuse. Now Zane adds him in the corner. McDaniel, though, with a reversal. Zane. There's a big chop from Wahoo McDaniel. And that's just the beginning. Working him over now into the ropes. Right hand. A series of right hands. Reversal by Zane again. Wahoo is waiting on him. Oh, right on the chest. That is it. It was that quick. And the winner of the match, Chief Wahoo McDaniel on Worldwide Wrestling. Let us watch once again an instant replay. Wahoo McDaniel jumped right across and chopped down Tony Zane. The winner of the match, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Okay, we've been looking forward to this, seeing gorgeous Jimmy Garvin impressions, because we saw earlier exactly what happened the last time she went out to the ring with Magnum TA.
And was you impressed? Let me ask you that. Was you impressed? Better yet, don't even answer, because I don't care if you were impressed or not. Let me ask all you millions of viewers out there, was you impressed over the fact that Magnum TA beat up on a lady? Let me tell you that, Magnum. He gets out here and he talks about bleach blonde hair. And I told you I didn't want to see this.
There it is again.
I told you I didn't want to see this. And this just goes to show you what kind of people I'm dealing with. You better take it off of there, because somebody's going to pay. And that somebody's Magnum TA. Terry Allen, you've bit off way more than you can chew, boy. Obviously, you think this pretty face is just going to stand by and let you beat up on a woman, huh? You think I'm going to stand here and let you mess with my squeeze like that? Have you lost your stinking mind? Do you think I just fell out of a tree or something like that? My name is Jimmy Garvin. My friends call me Gorgeous. And when I get through with you, Magnum TA, everybody in the world's going to know what kind of individual you are. You can get out here in them cheap sunglasses and you can talk a lot of trash. But the fact is, my reputation speaks for itself. Where have you been? In some kind of closet? I've beat every major competitor in the professional sport with no problem. When I said I was going to beat up Wahoo McDaniel, what did I do? I beat up Wahoo McDaniel. Now I'm telling you, Magnum TA, you're going to pay for messing with my squeeze. You're going to pay for talking trash on national television saying that she's not a lady. You got a lot of guts, you dimwit. You got a lot of guts. And I'm going to take all them guts and I'm going to spread them all out, and I'm going to show the people exactly what kind of sick human being you really are. Let's get out of here, baby.
Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin impressions, and obviously not as jovial as usual right here at ringside. Okay, fans, don't forget, next week we'll be right back with the very best of wrestling, Worldwide Wrestling, and we'll see you at that time.
Worldwide Wrestling is a presentation of